Security Now Illustrated by AskMisterWizard.com, illustrating concepts, mechanisms, and algorithms from the amazing Security Now podcast by Steve Gibson and Leo LaPorte. This is segment B, the second and last of two segments in episode 13 on WPA Wi-Fi security.
Okay, so
Yes.
the last thing that is important, and this is critical, is passphrase quality. The reason it's critical is WPA is subject to what's called an offline attack, meaning that someone could sniff your traffic and only needs a little bit of traffic to sniff. They don't need a lot. They then take that home to a big computer and run an offline cracking utility, which basically it does a brute force or dictionary attack against your passphrase. So because it's possible to do this, to put as much time or energy as necessary, since you're bothering to do WPA anyway, it absolutely makes sense to choose a good passphrase. And what that means is somehow come up with just a jumble of arbitrary special characters. You're able to, with WPA passphrases, you can use anything printable. Asterisk, dollar signs. You can look like a comic book swearing person. Upper, lower case, numbers, you name it. And use the full length. A passphrase can be 63 characters, and that's what I'm saying. This is not somewhere where you want to type in a sentence that you like to use. That can get cracked offline. You want just a nightmare jumble of junk. And then you just use copy and pasting in order to paste the same thing into each of your machines at access point. That passphrase ends up getting hashed 4,096 times into a 256-bit master key. 256 bits is way long for a master key.
So then our recommendations, if I can summarize, are certainly use WP. If you're I'll have to put that little codicil at the beginning. If you are concerned about Wi-Fi security, use WPA because it works. Use a completely random password of 64 characters. That's the maximum?
Actually, 63.
63. And that's the most you can use. And randomize them. Don't use a phrase, even though that's easier to remember. But since you're just cutting and pasting, you don't need to remember it.
And it only has to be done once.
And if you don't use WPA too, you don't worry about that.
Nope, not at all.
Simple old WPA is fine.
To see the other segments and related resources for this episode, please join us at www.AskMisterWizard.com. Select Security Now Illustrated from the prominent section index at the top of our homepage, and then select the episode from the menu at the bottom. The original audio-only version of this podcast can be found on the Gibson Research Corporation site at grc.com/securitynow. This clip illustrates some of the highlights from that show. This video clip comes from a large collection of related clips. All are indexed and easy to find at www.askmisterwizard.com, along with related items, text articles, illustrations, and forums. Please visit us today. We appreciate your support. Thank you.